Hello, I'm Dr. Eduardo Choa, President of the California State University at Monterey Bay. It is my pleasure to welcome friends, families, supporters, faculty, staff, and graduates to this ceremony. Each of you have made an impact on the CSUMB graduates we celebrate, and we thank you for recognizing their achievements. CSUMB's founding vision calls for the development of a community where we all learn and teach one another in an atmosphere of mutual respect. At CSUMB, we have watched these graduates demonstrate this learning, teaching, and mutual respect through work with faculty inside and beyond the classroom, with service learning in our communities, and with staff through a variety of endeavors. CSUMB's graduates have cultivated a path of being independent thinkers with the ability to be innovative, curious, and persistent. A CSUMB degree is a testament to that work and initiative. Graduates, whether you are the first in your family to attend college or not, your achievement is your own. Never forget to dream big, bold, and boundless. As Nelson Mandela said, when you let your light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we celebrate your accomplishments at CSUMB, we look forward to the bright futures for each of you. We look forward to your personal achievements and your ability to continue your work as valued leaders in our global society. Congratulations.
Greetings. My name is Daniel Summerhill, and I'm an assistant professor of poetry, social action, and composition studies here at CSUMB. I'd like to begin by saying thank you to the Office of Inclusive Excellence, the Office of the President, and the Honor Student Union for making all of the Affinity graduation ceremonies possible. I would like to especially thank the Honor Cross Cultural Center for inviting me to speak to our Black and African diasporic graduating class here at California State University, Monterey Bay. It is an honor and a privilege, and I appreciate the platform to not only speak, but to also celebrate such a grand occasion amidst the backdrop of uncertainty and chaos. Graduating class of 2020, I want to send my congratulations to each and every one of you. You're a resilient group that deserves to be celebrated today, and it is my hope and prayer that you will be able to celebrate with your loved ones and family members as soon as it is safe to do so. Today, I want to talk very briefly about the idea of bringing your entire self to wherever you go. And I'll be using the idea of remembering roots as a vehicle while also thinking about how your future lies in the roads you'll take. I say roads, plural, because there are many, and it's okay to take several or dozens even. It doesn't make you any less smart or accomplished or talented. In fact, Terry Crews was a linebacker for 3 different NFL teams and also a building keeper before he became a household Hollywood name. Lonnie Love, your beloved TV host, was an engineer firstly. Both of them went different routes prior to finding their roads. However, there are 2 things that they have in common. The first is that they both understood their roots, their foundation, and how that affected their future. And secondly, they both understood the importance of being fully and authentically themselves, or in other words, bringing their entire selves wherever it is that they went. In fact, both of them have excelled in their careers due to their identities and the notion of being fully themselves. The world now gravitates towards them being fully comfortable with themselves. So, as I speak about this hypothetical road you'll take, realize there are plenty of them. And as long as you hold on to your foundation, your roots, your ancestry, your family, your community, your elders, then those roads just get a little less bumpy. Before I get ahead of myself, I'd like to first work through some of those roots. Some of the roots, perhaps starting with the roots of the very area you attended school on for the past several years. Roots that, as a newcomer, I was not aware of before doing some research and digging. Between my hometown, Oakland, and down further south, Los Angeles, Seaside, right here, which is a part of CSUMB's campus, Black people accounted for 30% of the population in 1980. In 1994, Marina, the other city that the campus sits on, was named the 7th most diverse city in the nation by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. In fact, everyone from Dr. Martin Luther King to Rosa Parks to Dolores Huerta visited Seaside in the post-war era, when Black major cities like Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles were fighting for civil rights and equality. Black youth from this very area marched too, and in fact created many alternative means to racial and political justice that lasted well into the 1980s. But even before the revolutions of the 1960s, in 1952, Richard Joyce described Seaside as a utopia for Black people. He claimed everything was open in Seaside for young, enterprising Black people. Things weren't fixed. The city was unincorporated, but there was a tremendous opportunity for us to create something new. These are some of the most recent roots of this specific piece of land. And before them, for hundreds of years, the Constanoan people hunted and gathered here, and it's important to also acknowledge them. You all have your own histories and your own roots that have made you who you are today. And if you're not familiar with them, get familiar with them. Take some time this summer and get to know some of those histories. You will probably be blown away. Perhaps you have a grandparent that fought for civil liberties, or you have an ancestor that invented something really amazing. And that is the beauty of discovering and remembering your roots. You won't know where you're going until you know where you came from. Even though our numbers as a Black community here are not as robust as they once were, you have all enriched the area with your mere presence, adding what I like to call the sauce to this very campus. The media, society, and other platforms will have you believe that there is one type of Black person that exists, that there is an archetype Black college student. They will try and make you believe that only certain traits and qualities got you to where you are today, that you may have lost your sauce along the way to get your degree. In fact, I want to take a second to dispel some of those common incorrect notions they like to make through an excerpt of a poem that I wrote. They say Black folks can't swim because they don't understand buoyancy, don't know we've been floating, been surviving. They say Black women be angry because they don't understand physics, don't understand that if you shake a bottle for years, eventually it'll explode into something even more gorgeous. Also, they have a right to be. My mother has a right to be, and all 4 of my sisters have rights to be. That agency belongs to them and them alone. They say Black folks are illiterate, but what they mean is Black folks are multilingual and have always known which language to speak based on the setting, which is no easy feat. Lastly, not a false notion, but equally as valuable to note, Kendrick Lamar's "We Gon' Be Alright" is a Black proverb. Yes, we will be alright. Yes, we have always been alright. I mention these notions so you all have a visual of the world you have all been navigating leading up to this very moment, to make sure you understand your resiliency, or to use another one of my language, your dopeness. This is why it's important to bring your entire self to everything that you do, including the most Black parts. You are brilliant in your Blackness, not in spite of it. Many graduation keynote speakers use upwards of 20 minutes to provide advice on the post-college world, or how to be successful, or how to learn the perfect job. However, I'm confident that no matter what direction you all go in, that you will remember your roots and you will use them when things get rough on those future roads. Your roots are your rock to stand on when the world around you is crumbling. So instead of some empty or cliche rhetoric, the most important thing I want to say, the most pressing thing that comes to mind that I want to leave you with is this. Don't just take up space. Own the space with all of who you are. I want you to unswallow your blackness. Bask in it. Black graduates, class of 2020, congratulations. Be bold in whatever you decide to do after this part of your road. Be yourself without contrition. Add sauce to whatever future path you decide to take. Thank you and congratulations.
Camille A. Adams, B.A. Liberal Studies, cum laude. Lauren Javon Adams, B.S. Business Administration, Business Entrepreneurship. Omowemi Oluwemu Aluro, B.S. Marine Science.
Gabrielle Arbayo, B.A. Visual and Public Art, cum laude.
Jerome M. Baker, B.A. Humanities and Communication. Raina Beigler, B.A. Psychology.
Sarai Johanna Blassingame, B.A. Humanities and Communication.
James Boatin, B.S. Business Administration. Keila C. Bonham, B.A. Psychology.
Charnay Lachelle Brown, B.A. Human Development and Family Science. Ronald Watson Brown II, M.B.A. Business Administration.
Azaria Butler Ruthford, B.A. Humanities and Communication. Christiana Cade Woolridge, B.A. Cinematic Arts and Technology. Courtney Kerrigan, B.A. Psychology.
Monique Coleman, B.A. Collaborative Health and Human Services. Richard Connell, B.A. Environmental Studies.
Michaela Imani Cromarty, B.S. Kinesiology.
Anissa Dunkley, B.A. Human Development and Family Science, cum laude.
Yolanda Beverly Ely, B.S. Business Administration Marketing. Tiffany Edwards, B.A. Cinematic Arts and Technology. Brianna Dallas Espinoza Trujillo, B.A. Liberal Studies.
Harmony Fajiwanomi, B.A. Humanities and Communication.
Kira Nicole Galloway, B.S. Kinesiology.
Jocelyn Nicole Hayden, B.A. Humanities and Communication, cum laude.
Tia Renee Hillman, B.S. Sustainable Hospitality Management. Ariana Neela Ife Johnson, B.A. Psychology. John Judge, Master of Business Administration.
Jasmine Elaine Lacey, B.S. Kinesiology.
Keisha Madison, B.A. Collaborative Health and Human Services, summa cum laude. Emerald Darcy McCauley, B.S. Business Administration, Management and International Business.
Tiana McNair, B.S. Biology.
Sean Nettie, B.S. Business Administration, Marketing.
Arlena Anukabi, B.A. Cinematic Arts and Technology. Dawn LaRae Richardson, B.A. Liberal Studies. Janice Charnay Smiley, B.S. Kinesiology.
Sade Teal, B.A. Psychology.
Noah James Thompson, B.S. Computer Science. Jaden Von Wash, B.A. Cinematic Arts and Technology. magna cum laude.